Hello, and welcome to the 741 channel. Thank you for stopping by. The question of the day is, will it antenna? Just to head off any negative comments before we get too far along in the video, I just want to mention that this is not a serious attempt at a real ham radio antenna. I understand that what I'm about to show here is not efficient, practical, or should really even be tried by anybody. Anyway, let's get on with the video. I think you'll enjoy it. So for this theme night, I originally planned on doing something a little more serious and practical, but I was just eating my lunch and an idea came to me. And I was wondering if that tree back there would antenna. So I'm going to hook up to it and find out. Let's take a closer look. So obviously wood is not a conductor of electricity. In fact, most of the time it's an insulator. But in a tree like this, there may be enough moisture in here to get something out of it. Now, it's not going to be efficient by any means, but I'm wondering if it'll work. Why not, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coax pigtail and I'm going to screw in the center conductor right into the bark of the tree here somewhere. Now, hopefully the screw is long enough it'll go through the bark and sort of get into the wood a little bit. And then the other side, the shield side, I'm going to clamp it to this ground rod, which I'm going to pound in as close as I can to the base of the tree. And then I'll hook up a link to coax, we'll set up a radio and see if this works. Now, just like you guys, I'm guessing it's not going to work. But who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised. If we can make one contact on this, I'll call it a success. For good measure, I got the ham harder hammer here. I'll pound in this ground rod. Normally, we want to get a ground rod 8 feet down in the ground if we can. This one's probably in about 1.5 feet, so that should work fine. So now I've got just a regular machine screw here. It's about 2 inches long or so. The key here is that it's bare steel. It's not coated with anything, so it'll make good contact to the pigtail. Looks like a good spot right there above the ground rod. The head of that screw wasn't really formed right. It was slipping on my bit, but I think it's in there good enough. So I don't think there's really any conductivity issues here. The ground rod is touching the bark of the tree. I'm going to slip this piece of Trex behind it just to insulate it, I guess. Now I'm going to use my vice grips and I'm going to clamp the shield to the ground rod. Perfect. Here's a close-up look at what I've done. You can see the center conductor is screwed right into the tree. We got the shield clamped to the ground rod. We got the Trex here to keep the ground rod separated from the tree. This is perfect. We're ready to get on the air. So I've got the radio set up. I'm hearing a few signals. There's even a Parks on the Air station out there right now. I've got my tuner set up and I was able to tune that thing up so my SWR is around 2 to 1, believe it or not. I'm going to try and contact her and see if she can hear me. November 1, November Uniform Golf.
I believe I heard a station ending in Papa Alpha Delta. QRZ.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Delta. November 4, Hotel India Delta. QRZ.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Kilowatt Germany 960. QRZ.
November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Delta Bravo Mike Station.
There's just too much of a pileup and I can't ham hard enough through it with this Tree-tenna. I'm going to switch over to 20 meters and see what I can do there. Okay, I got another POTUS station here on 20 meters. See if we can get him. Sounds pretty loud here, but I don't know if he's going to hear me.
With great audio. Here in Florida, part number K1881. QRZ, Kilo 4 Golf Delta Juliet will park in the air.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Sorry, Kilo Charlie 3 ending in Juliet. This is Kilo 4 Golf Delta Juliet, Kilo 4 Golf Delta Juliet.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Kilo 8, Romeo Alpha Tango 5959 into 1881. Roger, buddy. Cash you next year, bud. 73 QRZ.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
November 1, you are low there, but go ahead. November 1?
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
Yeah, I got you. you. November 1, November uniform
Holy crap.
golf. I will say you're 5-1, 5-1 into Florida, 1881.
Okay, you're 5-1, 5-1 into Connecticut as well. I'm portable, so thanks for the contact.
Robert, could you get the report again? I lost your QSC. The report again?
5-1, 5-1 into Connecticut, 5-1 Connecticut.
Roger, I got you that time. Thanks for chasing, bud. 73.
73, thanks much for the contact. Appreciate it. Enjoy.
Kilo Charlie 3, come again?
Holy cow, I made a contact to Florida on a tree. So the answer to the question, will a white oak tree antenna? Yes, it will. It actually receives quite well. I'm surprised. And we did make one contact to a guy in Florida from Connecticut. That's over 1,000 miles. So not too bad. Now, I did mess around here for a couple of hours on and off. I called CQ a little bit. Nobody came back to me. I tried chasing other stations that were calling CQ, but nobody else heard me, at least not yet. But overall, this was a fun experiment just to see what would happen. And I'm actually quite surprised that it worked as well as it did. It's a new day, and with every new day comes new opportunities. I'm gonna pull the pigtail out of the oak tree, and I'm gonna put it in a pine tree and see if that makes a difference. The wood in a pine tree is a little bit softer. There's maybe a little more moisture and sap in there, so who knows? Maybe it'll conduct more energy. Maybe it won't. Maybe the bands are better today. I don't know. We'll try it anyway, see what happens. Ground's a little softer over here by this pine tree, so ground rod's in a little bit further. I'm feeling good about this. Okay, I've got the tree tapped. Let's hook the radio up and see what happens. A little bit colder and windy today than it was the other day, but gotta give it a shot for a little while. Got the pine tree hooked up. We're tuned up on 40 meters. I'm hearing plenty of signals, but it's a Tuesday afternoon, so we'll see what happens.
7-3 to you and your family. VA3RLG signing.
73 to you and yours, and you have a happy new year, and we'll catch y'all next year. KD8, YWF.
7-3, Rob. VA3RLG.
November 1, November Uniform Golf.
I heard a station call, but you're really light. I'll listen out, though. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf.
November 1, November Uniform Golf. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, the November 1 station, I can only hear that portion of your call. I am running a little bit of power. Not a lot. Maybe that's why you hear me well enough to copy me, but I'm up near Ottawa. If you got any way of an antenna that points up that direction. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf.
November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf. I'm running real low power here. Is this working now? Can you hear me? November 1, November Uniform Golf. Nancy 1, Nancy United Germany. He heard me a little bit, not enough to make a contact, but he heard me in Canada on the pine tree. I guess I got to ham a little bit harder. So I did switch over to 20 meters and I tuned around. I didn't hear a whole lot. And then I tried to tune up on 20 and I really couldn't get a good tune. I couldn't really get below like 2.5 or so to 1 SWR. So I don't think the pine tree is as good as the oak tree. I'm going to go back to 40. We'll tune around a little bit and see if we can do anything else here. But it's getting kind of cold, so I may wrap up. So I was going to do some more testing on the Tree-tenna, but I've run out of time. So far, what I've determined is that the oak tree is a better Tree-tenna than the pine tree. The oak tree seemed to tune up pretty well on 20 and 40. I played around with the tuner, and I can get the SWR down pretty low on the oak tree. On the pine tree, I'm able to get the SWR down on 40 meters to a reasonable level, but 20 I never really was able to tune up. I never tried any other bands on either tree, but it might be interesting to see if they'd tune up on 80 or 15 or 6 or who knows, anywhere else. I mean, really, is a tree going to make a good antenna? No, not at all. I'm shocked that I made the contact that I made to Florida and the one almost to Canada. That was just pure luck and probably the coax radiating or something like that. But I was kind of surprised how well they worked on receive. So I suppose if you're in a pinch and you need to have a receive antenna, maybe connecting up to a tree is better than nothing. I don't know. So at the end of the day, what have we really learned here? Not a freaking thing, I don't think. But it was fun to try anyway. And maybe in the springtime, I'll play around with it a little more. Temperatures will be warmer, the sap will be flowing in the trees a little more. Maybe we can make more contacts, who knows. But I think I'm done with the Tree-tenna for now. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to leave a comment or subscribe, feel free to do that as well. And if you'd like to see more from my fellow ham radio YouTubers, check the link down in the description. Thanks for watching, and 7-3.